Yes, I do.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Yes? Be honest with me, all right? Be honest with me. Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, very much so.
Do you believe in God?
There is something.
There is something. Do you believe in God?
Doesn't believe in God.
And you?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Kurt left with half the group after the first conversion, but is still impressed.
I wondered if there's not something just in his body, an energy, electrical impulse that doesn't zap people. I cannot explain the warm hug that the one young woman experienced, except that maybe that is God speaking to her, that He loves her. So I do know people who've come to Christ with a radical conversion that is very different from most conversions, but nothing quite like James.
He was impressed, but to his credit wanted to meet again before he'd offer a full public endorsement. Yeah, the endorsement's important because the ability to show that even as a charlatan you can quite easily ingratiate yourself into that world and be part of that fiction, if it is fiction. My next stop is Las Vegas, a city based on false hopes. I'm here as Robert Frawley, a man who has the power to tell people's dreams. There are no clocks in the casinos, no sense inside of whether it's day or night, and all the hotel rooms are really bare, so there's nothing to do but to keep on gambling. It's a hypnotic scam, but Vegas is the place to come and try and catch your dreams. And in a way, a lot of these new age industries are similar. A lot of pretty colours and saccharine that hide really nothing but false hope. In a way, it's a bit like this. Looks like it does something, but it doesn't. All it does is it just turns a green light on and off. That's all it does. This is my new electronic dream catcher. Despite the fact it's just a battery in a pretty box, can I convince this next lady that it records her dreams and then replays them to me? So we're going to go and visit a lady called Lorraine De Felice, who is very successful in the New Age industries. She's a magazine proprietor, an author, and she owns some of the top New Age websites. She's very sweet, but she is massively influential. I'm going to present her with a miracle. How skeptical will she be? And if she asks me if it's real, I will tell her no. Lorraine has been using the Dreamcatcher now for 5 days. She believes I'm developing it as a product, and I'm after feedback and publicity for it. Will she believe it's real and endorse me to her public? Tell us a bit about your background, about the Esoteric World News that you looked after, about. Give us a little history of who you are.
In 1979, I decided to start the Esoteric World. It was a newspaper, and eventually it became a magazine. And I printed thousands a month. I had thousands of members. Each member got a copy of what the other sent in. Now we have the internet, which we didn't have 10 years ago.
And it's doing very well, isn't it?
We've got thousands of pages on the internet, every metaphysical subject. I think probably the biggest metaphysical site on the net.
Do you feel influential in that position?
Has changed the lives of a lot of people.
I'd like to talk about the dream machine that you have. And just so that people at home understand what's happened previously, we delivered to you one of these machines, and you were given instructions to use it for, you've had it for 5 nights, I think. This is right? Okay. That's the machine itself. And this is the pillowcase, which plugs into the Dreamcatcher, and you've been sleeping on this. I asked you just to remember whatever dreams that you had during the night, because we do tend to forget them, so I asked you to. And obviously, for the record, there's nothing that you've been asked to talk about. You haven't told any of us or anything like that, because that's quite important. Great. I'll try and do this now. I'm thinking, actually, if possible, perhaps we could swap chairs. Would it be right if I use your chair just so I can have a slightly more comfortable... I tell Lorraine that the box contains special New Age crystalline technology. But as you know, the box contains just an ordinary battery and does nothing other than turn the light on and off with a switch. What I'm about to do works through words and imagination. not crystals or the ridiculous pads I'm about to put on. It's perfectly safe to use. I mean, there wouldn't have been any. There are a couple of, not side effects, but unusual things that I've noted when people use this. One is that because of the way the dreams are stored, you may have been aware of actually dreaming less than you normally would.
When I was in a deep sleep, that's what happened.
Right.
But in the light sleep, I started
You may have had
dreaming
all sorts of flashes and images.
the minute I laid down.
Right, that's very common then, that's great. The other side of it is that you may find it tends to take the colour out of the dreams.
I always heard of people who dreamed in black and white, and I never did that. I had 2 nights where they were black and white.
It's promising then, let's try this. So these are 4 pads, which I'm going to attach to my temples and forehead. Do feel free to talk or respond, but just maybe sort of don't ask me any questions if that's all right. I'll Okay, so there's movement. Things moving across your field of vision, wheels of some sort. Yeah, like large wheels, like cart wheels or something like that. Okay, quite eccentrically dressed black man. I'm also going to put white woman. I'm going to say black man, although weirdly I feel it can be a white woman as well, which is odd. But black man, and he's there's life around him, quite eccentrically dressed. And there's life around him, animals even, quite large animals, like big dogs or something like that, or some animals around him. Binoculars?
Yes.
Yeah? Is it a bird of some sort? Yeah? Quite a large bird? Quite piercing eyes, or at least one eye very piercing, very clear.
Yes.
That
was another dream.
Some white buildings? Black sky, white buildings?
Yes.
Yeah?
Exactly.
Very strong.
That was one of the black and white dreams, yes.
Yeah.
I had never seen black and white dreams.
And maybe that's why that's come last. Okay, I don't think there's anything else. I think that's it.
That was amazing what he did. I'm amazed. That was my private secret dreams, and he saw them. Okay, I really would like Robert to come on the radio program. I'd like to interview him. I think the people around the world should know about this. Anything you want to say about the Dream Machine, you can, or Robert can write it. And we publish it all, in print, and it'll still be on the web, too.
Lorraine is convinced. The next day I got a call from the radio station asking me to come on and talk about the machine. I declined. After the break, I shall be Richard Collins, an alien abductee who can sense your medical history, and Fraser Sherwell, who talks to the dead.